So I think there's a very urgent need to think of ways to end this conflict before Ukraine is permanently and seriously damaged as an economy.
Welcome to CCG Global Dialogue.
The world is really at a dangerous phase now. Now we are having this Ukraine-Russian conflict. So in terms of this economic and geopolitical shocks that are happening, and it's actually made the world more dangerous. What is your take on the current situation, and what do you see the end of that?
So I think there's a very urgent need to think of ways to end this conflict before Ukraine is permanently and seriously damaged as an economy. I don't think it can be in the interests of the Ukrainian people for this war to go on interminably. And unfortunately, there's every sign, at least from where I'm sitting, that the war can drag on through the summer and even into the autumn and winter, at which point Russia's leverage over the European countries grows because the full cost of sanctions, the full cost of cutting off Russian gas and oil from Europe will become apparent when winter comes. In response, the Biden administration seems to see the war in Ukraine primarily in terms of its relationship with China. There are clearly people in Washington who see their support for Ukraine as a signal to Beijing, see Ukraine in effect as a proxy in what I've called Cold War II. And the goal of US policy in the eyes of at least some members of the administration is to deter China from taking military action with respect to Taiwan. In my view, the strategy is a dangerous one in two ways. First of all, it's not clear to me that it works. Extending the war causes all kinds of disruption, including creating an inflation problem for the world. I don't think it really has a significant impact on the way the Chinese government thinks about the Taiwan question. Secondly, I think it's extremely dangerous for the United States and China to go down a collision course over the question of Taiwan. If this is Cold War II, which I believe it is, with China, as it were, taking the place of the Soviet Union, then the Ukraine war is equivalent to the Korean War in 1950. And the next stage in Cold War II would be an equivalent to the Cuban Missile Crisis. Remember, in 1962, the world came extremely close to World War III over an island. And I think we would be running a very similar risk if there were a US-China confrontation over the island of Taiwan. So my argument is, let's learn a lesson from the first Cold War. And the lesson is that détente is better than confrontation. And I would argue that it would be preferable to fast forward and avoid the Cuban Missile Crisis in our time and go straight to détente, accelerate the Cold War cycle, as it were, and get more quickly to a period when the two superpowers focus on reducing tension, slowing down the arms race, and avoiding the kind of confrontation that would carry with it the risk of World War III.